So why should physicians care about negotiation anyway? Like, why does this matter to you? Why is it worth spending an hour of your day with me so that we can talk about this? So first off, this is a financial conference, right? And our financial well-being starts with our day job. This is low-hanging fruit, y'all. We are already going to work however many hours it is you do, but probably in the 40 to 60 range. For some of us, we're a little less, some potentially even a little more. But this is something you're already doing. And how much you earn in a job you're already going to or about to go to anyway is really low-hanging fruit as far as your financial well-being. An extra $10,000 over time could really, really add up. I mean, you're at a financial conference, you know about compounding interest and the benefit of having even small amounts of money over long periods of time. So just imagine the cost of $10,000 you left on the table 5 years ago, in 20 years when you retire, right? This adds up. There's a great book by Linda Babcock called Ask for It. And she gives examples, mostly looking at gender pay disparity, where an MBA at 30 years old asks for $100,000. She gets it. The male MBA in the story negotiated up from that to $115,000. That $15,000 between 30 and 65, I think her assumptions were 3% interest and 3% cost of living increases per year, added up to over $1.5 million. Now, I'm not sure if she took into account taxes or anything like that. She didn't mention it, but we're talking a lot of money. If $15,000 at the beginning of your career can ultimately mean a $1.5 million difference in your long-term financial health, is that not worth fighting for? And negotiating a job that fits you instead of trying to fit into an ill-fitting job extends longevity. And what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that if your job fits you, you're more likely to stay in it longer. So if you're burned out because you are in a mismatch, you're putting a round peg in a square hole or vice versa, then you're less likely to stay in your career for lengthy periods of time. And that's ultimately going to cost you money over time, right? So we know that turnover is expensive when we're negotiating with employers. It takes money to recruit a physician. It takes money to train a physician. What we often don't think about is the opposite side of that equation. And what that side is the cost to you if you change your job, right? So the white coat investor is always talking one house, one spouse, and one job. And that's because if you have to relocate, if you take time off to move your family, if you go from a production where you were at a higher level salary earning potential and go down to a guarantee, which is often at a safer place, you may lose money, right? There are certain times in our life where it makes sense to change jobs. So I'm not saying you should never change jobs. I actually did very early in my career and I'm very happy with it. But you want to be very deliberate about this. And the more you can set up your job to serve you, the more you can limit that turnover potential, which will cost you money over the long run.